right, back to Blatherrhea. Hi, good to see you again. Hi, Brian.
Hi.
I'm John Caparulo.
Hello.
This is Brian Shinanigan.
That's me.
Don't say a word. I'll just introduce everybody. I'm saying things this time. We are coming to you this week. We changed it up this week. This week we're gonna not look like we are piloting a fucking news chopper, and we did away with the headphones because. You know, we weren't getting a lot of call-ins anyway, so it was like, you know what, we'll give it a shot.
We put up that number and nobody called.
So,
it was
we'll go with that. How's your? It's only been a few days, really. How's your few days been?
Oh man,
we did the Saturday night or Sunday night special
showcase. Yeah, I mean it was a good show
at Wiseguys. That was cool.
Yeah, it was a fun night.
It's fun for me to go back to hosting, like, which because that's what I did. Basically, I'm the MC for Sunday night special at Wiseguys, which. That's a skill that as a comedian you have to keep kind of sharp, which is fun. Like, going up in between comedians and trying to because it is kind of it's a delicate balance, because you don't want to just be up there going well, here, I'm going to do another bit, even though everybody's like, we've already heard from you, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But it's also, well, we want to keep the show rolling and moving and everything like that. So it is. It's a nice feeling out process, but it's fun to do when it doesn't suck. So, which I think goes for all stand-up shows.
Yeah.
So, yeah it is.
Well, yeah, because you do kind of have to manage the show, and it's like, all right, they're still hot enough. I don't need to do a bit here. Let's get the next guy online.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's talk to you guys for a minute because you guys are drifting. I
mean, there's those moments where it's just like, even if somebody, you can have somebody do well. But there's also part of me that's always like, well, okay, the next guy coming up, maybe they don't, maybe somebody did really well, and you don't, it's kind of like, letting them water ski through fucking Barge Wake or some shit, which I grew up skiing on the river.
It's like, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
But yeah, it's you don't want somebody having to go up through a whole bunch of choppy water. So you kind of want to, at least reset it back to a nice energy to fit, so the next guy isn't just thrown up there into a fucking, like Jay Moore said one time when I was doing a show with him, into a brush fire. So yeah, it's so I like, that's why I like doing it, and it's fun just being a part of, I like being a part of a newer generation of comedy that's coming through Vegas. It's kind of cool. I've always been honored ever since they asked me to host the show. So thanks for
it's been a fun time. It's a good show. There's been 4 shows so far, and everyone's been good.
Yeah, it's been good so far. So I'll try to fuck it up on the 5th, I guess. But
so right after that show, I went and met with Robin with the kid. We went to Round 1. Have you been to Round 1 in the Metals Mall there? Oh my God, it's like a claw machine place. And they have all these Japanese. I spent $100 in 15 minutes.
Wait, what is it?
They have like
Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, because they have a bowling alley in there. They have like a pool, a little restaurant. Like it's like a huge bank of claw machines, a ton of ticket machines, and then shooters, Japanese, every Papa shot you ever saw.
Really?
Every single kind.
Oh man,
every single kind.
I'm all about that. See, we went. What was it? It would have been, I think it was 2 weekends ago. It was right before Jamie went to Ireland.
To the Grand Prix place.
We went to we went to the Grand Prix place, the place with the go-karts, which was all right. Like, look, as usual, my car sucked. Okay, that's the only reason. Okay, my car sucked. Plus, I mean, because the first race we raced, it was Jamie and Madden were in a car together, and then I was in a car, and they gave me car number 13, so right there. Okay, you gave me car 13. It's basically, why don't you just kick me in the balls and say that I gotta push, because it's gonna suck. And so they put me in the crap car, and I had a pole position over there. I got to start first, but they blew by me before. See, I didn't really know what was going on. I'm like, am I supposed to go forward? I don't know. So they blew past me, and I'm like, of course they did, because it's like the fucking go-karts have lawnmower engines in them, and I am fatter than the two of them together, okay? My wife and daughter together aren't even fucking close to my girth in a fucking go-kart. So it matters when you're in a go-kart. So I played for 27th is what I was playing for.
Yeah.
That's what I was racing for in that one. But we went to the go-kart place, and then we went to the went over to back in Summerlin. We went to the
Dave Buster's?
Not the Dave and Buster's. It was the casino over there. What's that one called?
The one in Red Rock.
Red Rock.
That little fun zone thing in there. Yeah,
because we always go. We went bowling over there, and then we also went. They have like a little arcade there too, and we played Pop a Shot there. Jamie claims she won at that, which there's just no way. Okay, because I still shoot baskets at home. There's a hoop right
You've
there.
seen it. We've
there.
done it
Yeah,
with
right.
distractions.
So I mean, I know I'm a good enough shooter, and plus it was one of those ones that like the Papa Shot, like the counter, like the score varied, and it wasn't like you went up to the last like 10 seconds and then it was all 3-pointers. This thing just went anywhere from 1 to 5 on your points, and she starts playing, and it's just locked at fucking 5, I guess, because she made like 4 shots, and she already had 40 points, and I made like every shot, and I had like 42 total. I was like, what the fuck just happened? So, of course I left without them. And you
guys find your own way home.
The thing is, too, is like she can tell too for like an hour later when I'm still like quiet, and she's like, "You're still mad about Pop Shot?" Like, well, a little. I'm a little upset. But yeah, and then we went bowling over there, which I can say I won easily at bowling, but I hate when it's like that because Jamie's real competitive when she's close. If she's bowling well, if she's doing anything relatively well, she's competitive. But man, she rolls a couple gutters. It's just she's one of those people. It's just like, I'm not even playing anymore. What? And just sucks all the fun I had out of beating my wife. We bowled and so forth. But yeah, I've heard about the play. What is it, like Japanese video games? You say?
They had tons of I think they had like the ones where like the coin pushes off the cards or knocks stuff off.
Yeah.
They had like 20 of those.
Really?
They had like it was a giant place. It was like a Costco. They had tons of the rhythm games, like a bunch of the dance games, all that stuff, the punching games. They had like a bunch of like throwing baseball games and everything. They had this one game, dude. You actually shoot BBs out of a gun, like at a virtual board. Like the BBs came out of the gun. It was like a shooting game. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But man, like the claw games, I spent $100.
Claw games,
I was trying to win a fat penguin for my girl.
I'm good with a claw. Because why wouldn't you? I mean,
come on.
Because you're a good man.
It was so close. It was so fucking close.
Because I hate when a claw machine, you can just tell, has that limp ass fucking claw. Like that one claw, like it grabs, but then it has that one finger that just goes, like it's sprained or something. It's fucking terrible. So I get mad at those because I like to play a claw machine if it's challenging and somewhat winnable.
Well, they had every kind of claw machine you can think of.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Because they had one. They had one where you had to like push the car up, and if the car went over the line, you got it. They had another one, like a ton of them, where you had to hook on a circle.
Yeah.
And I mean, they just the ones with only one side. But then the one I was trying for was perched on top of this thing, and I kept pushing it, and it kept pivoting, but it never fell. See, I $100.
When we went to that the one that where I was talking about at Red Rock, the Cyber Quest or whatever, the one that's there. I think we must have had already some ticket balance like accumulated on our cards because. We played for a little while, but not that long. But we did well enough that, we went up to the fucking to the desk to get Madden to get prizes, and she had enough for a fucking pool table. I think. She might have had enough for a fucking like a Nintendo or something. Like it was up there, and I forget what she even got. Like she always gets something that pisses me off. But yeah, it's.
You know where I got my PlayStation 4? Dave and Buster's.
Did you? Really?
With fucking tickets.
Oh man.
Because dude, I love Dave and Buster's. I'll spend $100 there and I'll be there for like
hell
hours.
yeah.
Hours.
Oh, yeah.
I love. They had that Star Trek game where you got the cards off, and I love collecting those cards.
Yeah.
Like those coin games, like it's addictive to me. Like I love just like those coin push because I'm like, it's gonna come over the edge. You know, I always play them on the goddamn cruise ships because they're like, I have $100 bill on there, and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna keep pushing it. It's gonna get there eventually.
See, yeah, I like the I like the challenge games. You know, like the carnival type games. You know, whether it's Pop-A-Shot or it's something like skee ball is challenging because I like when I get the 1,000 or the 10,000 point thing right up in the corner. But yeah, like those are. But see, when it comes to I remember I went with a girl on a date back in like Santa Monica. No, it was in Hermosa Beach because it was right by the club. I remember we went. They were having some sort of carnival down there on the waterfront one day, and like, you know, it was one of those basketball shoot and get where like the hoop was like 15 feet.
Yeah, one of the like the
like
big,
it doesn't
the
have
high
a net.
ones.
It has like a laundry basket.
Yes.
I remember, like, I mean. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of warm ups, and you know I'm short to begin with, and this was I mean I tried to give it a Michael Adams launch, and I mean it wasn't even close, and the dude started clowning me, everything like it's like, oh man, here I'll even give you a free one with that. I'm like, I'll give you a smack in the face, sir. Is what I'll do. And the thing is, like I couldn't. It ruined the date. So you know, you're welcome, Madden and Jamie. I guess that's why that date didn't work out. Because I was missing shots. Like those things could go really bad for me. Like where I get too competitive. I get too caught up in the fucking like the competition. I don't even care about the fucking stuff there. I just want you to shut your mouth, sir. You because I know you think you're when you get back in your camper at the end of the night thinking you're better than I am. You're you know, I don't need you thinking that. I don't need you with that little shred of hope when you go to sleep in your camper. I need you to know that dude. That guy who was, the chubby white guy, he was a pretty good shot.
He had game.
I mean, that was impressive. I mean, because there were a lot of people around, and he dropped it on a 15-foot rim. That's right. I've been working on my.
I love those stupid carnival games, though.
I do love that shit.
The county fair. I spent way too much money at the county fair winning shit.
Like, I mean, you know, like there's the dart throwing one. I'm fucking terrible at darts too. Like we even have a dartboard outside, and I'm always worried about the wind. But yeah, we've used it like maybe twice. But like the dart throwing ones, I like the one. They have one at that one I was talking about at Red Rock that has like. It has like a jug, and you have to like throw like that big, like it's like a softball, but it looks like a big golf ball, and you have to, and like I'm real good at
that
getting
backspin.
Yeah, I'm good at a spin, and because I did that. I've done it a few times at a few carnival, like where they have the basket, and it's just rigged for you to bounce back out, and I get a little spin, and just toilet bowl that shit, fucking and that's the best for me. It's just. Yeah, I mean, I like that. I have a child that really loves the stuffed animals and stuff like that, like their prizes. But yeah, that actually reminds me of of a story. I don't know if you ever saw the show that I hosted briefly on CMT called Mobile Home Disaster. You shouldn't. Don't watch that shit.
Cap, I went back and watched it.
No.
All right? But, I went to the archives.
So, okay, I don't know how many episodes of that show is. I want to say, I know it was in the latter half of that season, because we only did one season, so it was 8 episodes. But the one of the mobile homes that we made over, we redesigned, I didn't do shit. I had a hammer on my tool belt, and I basically just got to, do funny shit all day, which was fun. But like the one, we go in and like this house was like, I mean, because it wasn't trailers, mind you, it was mobile homes. They, like I've always said, they'll both blow away.
But there's a difference.
Right. And, but this mobile home, I mean, you walk in this, I remember the producers warning us before we walked into this house. They were like, Look, you're gonna have to take some time to come back outside and get some air because the smell of pee is so bad in there. Because this was a family that could not drive past a stray dog or cat and not welcome them into the home. And this, I mean, it wasn't a bad it was fairly spacious. But I remember there was it was a mom and a dad, and then they had. Let's see. I want to say they might have had. I think they had an older child, like a teenager child, and then they had two small kids. I think it was a son and daughter. I'm not sure, but they were around in the 5 to 8 range. And
how many animals?
And several fucking. I mean, probably almost as many as we have now. But we at least try not to let them pee everywhere. And but there was I mean, it was really it was pervasive in there.
Yeah, like ammonia.
It really
how do you guys stay in here all day every day like that? Yeah,
it's like
you get used to it.
It's like I'd love to stay and talk longer, but you're blurry right now. This hurts. So, but anyway, this particular place, the woman, the mom, I guess, she used to be a carny. Now, used to be, I use that loosely because once it's in your blood, I think it's always there.
Yep.
And
once a snake handler, always a snake handler.
You combine the pee smell with her, I think it really fit. And anyway, she was an ex carny, and she had there was a room or 2 rooms in that mobile home. Yeah, there was a whole bedroom because the 2 little kids, they didn't have a bedroom. They slept on the floor at the foot of the parents' bed, and then they had an entire bedroom that was filled with stuffed animals from her carny days. But they were just soaked with urine. There was so much pee all over these. They were just
crusty,
disgusting,
and discolored.
Right. It was not I don't know where you were planning on. Nobody cared about these bears.
I do not remember this episode. I did not see this episode. I would remember pee bears, Cap.
See, because the thing is the show ended up getting sued. Because what happened was, they ended up, because they were, when they were doing the, overhaul and clearing because I read they swept these stuffed animals out of this room, and they're they would have preserved them. They weren't fucking soiled and fucking pee.
Yeah.
But they were covered. They were just they were
a health
They were
hazard.
soiled. So they took them out. They threw them out. They weren't gonna give them away or anything. So they threw them out, and we took that bedroom and actually made a bedroom for the 2 little
kids.
And I mean, if there's ever a time I was close to crying on that show, was this little kid came over and hugged me. Because he, thought I did it, which I was in my trailer. But he thought I was the one who was responsible for giving him a bedroom. Because it was him and his little sister where they had, beds on. They share the room, but they still had a bedroom now. Instead of the fucking, the big ass fucking Tony the Tiger or whatever she had. So, we gave them their own bedroom, and then. I heard about after the season that they sued the show because they were they threw away all her stuffed animals. She was taking them to court. We gave them a fucking a dryer and a fucking fridge and gave the kids a room, and they sued the show because
they threw out the pissy stuffed animals.
I guess they were suing for almost $60, and it was $60 worth of terrible stuffed animals.
I have given away tons of those goddamn stuffed animals.
Oh man, those things are annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, because I remember there are times where you win the big stuffed animal that it looks so cool to you as a kid or whatever.
But it's the middle of the day, and I gotta walk around Six Flags.
It really is like a trophy, where you're of course, yes.
You're the big game hunter.
I made the shot. That's right. I made the shot. So I'm gonna sweat my balls off trying to carry this fucker around. Fucking but it's as soon as you get it and get it home, it's why do I fucking have this right now? Madden has one of those down. It's a big horse.
Because I used to have a Universal Pass to a season pass to Universal Studios, and so we went there all the time, especially on the Halloween Horror Nights, and they always had those carnival games, and I was dialed in on that one where you have to get it in the bucket. Like where it's a big bucket, it usually bounces out. Like I got that little side twist, so it swirls around in there. And I had that one, dude. On one Halloween Horror Night, I won 4 prizes.
Really?
The giant ones.
They make you leave?
They held them for me.
Really?
They're like, yeah, we'll hold them for you till the end of the night. So
usually they're not cool about it.
No, they were because they're like, bro, like you have a lot of. So I went back and picked them up, and I was like the fucking. I had 2, my girl had 2. It's like a giant Raiders bear and like a tiger, and she had a giant fucking Nemo or some shit, and we had a giant Shrek. I'm like, I gotta get rid of that Shrek.
Once you get them home, it's like, what? What
am
I gonna do with it?
They sat in the chairs.
Oh, good.
Like
now I have a mattress. Like, what? No.
No, we put them at the dining room table because that's the only place.
Right.
Like, we were having a goddamn tea party.
Yeah, I got a stuffed animal for the garage. Fucking awful.
I love and I hate carnival games. Like that one you have to shoot the stupid star out of. Oh, where you have the BB gun, you have to clear the whole star. I have spent so much money being angry at carnies.
Yeah, or the race horses. Where you have to squirt the thing with the
carnies, circus folk. Well,
kings among men, as Homer Simpson once said. We were talking about this. I want anybody to, because we were talking about like the Rubik's Cube last week with the guy with the setting the record for the Rubik's Cube who went like Madden said, and but like
she did that 4 times, and every time it got funnier.
To me, my theory, and I haven't succeeded with this theory yet, obviously, because as you can see, I've got red, and then then I have it's more of a cornucopia of colors. But to me, I think if you're trying to get it's the middle. It's got to be the middle, right? You got to line up the middle to get your Rubik's Cube solved, right? It just seems like because the middle doesn't change. It's not like the squares are going to go outside. Is anybody still watching? Is anybody still listening to me?
And if you are,
just wondering if that's
like and comment below.
Because I really am at the point where I just like to see. Because I remember getting 2 sides when I was 7, so I should be able at 47 to get at least 2 sides.
I give it to you, Cap. You've been on that for a week plus.
I mean, I haven't been on it that much. I've got other games to play, sir. All right, so don't act like I've spent too much time on this. I got my video games to play, but still, I mean, I still want to, I still would like to figure out something here, but I think it still comes down. It's got to be the middle. Anyway, what do we got?
You got to get the middle. Well, in the spirit of competition,
all right,
I'm going to throw this up on the screen here for you guys. Man runs 100 meters in 12.82 seconds while wearing high heels.
You got to think that's fast as fuck.
Yeah.
First of all,
you want to see the video?
Because the record for like the Usain Bolt record's right around 9, right?
Yeah,
it's 9.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is not like
this is not
slow.
You
hobbled your ass over. This guy, like, all right.
That's
so
not a guy you'd want to piss off when he's in high heels.
First of all, look at those calves on that guy, huh? Those high heelers are doing a lot of work for that dude. All right, let's look at him trucking. That's a horrible angle.
It is, yeah.
Like I don't need to see your junk bouncing.
Yeah, I just rather see the angle of the.
Show me the heels.
But I mean,
he was digging, man. Like
I'm just wondering, like, did he train for that sprint? And was he out on a track? Because look, when he's actually trying to set the record, and there's cameras around, and everybody knows that, like, okay, this guy's trying to set a record for running in high heels. Okay, great. But when he's training and he's just at a track by himself with no camera,
at the
or
local
he's just out on the
college
street because he's obviously just running on the street there. He's just out on the street. Like, I mean, you imagine his neighbors?
Like there he goes again.
He's out there again, fucking running in heels. Why is he still doing it? And then some of the guys are like, why am I still looking at his legs?
Yes.
Why are his calves turning me on?
Why does he keep wearing the bright red ones? Like, come on.
Why does he have lipstick? Why does he have that on? Why? I don't understand why he needs that. Well, he's got to accessorize. He needs a purse too, apparently. Like, what the fuck?
But I mean, that man, like, yeah, I mean, he said he practiced. He did it.
He did it, and then when he's done too, then he's like, "I did." Like, do you call your parents, or do you just keep that shit to yourself? I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's impressive. It's hell of a lot better than I could do. I can't even walk.
He's not half-assing it with a low heel. That's a high heel.
Not that I've tried to walk in those not with anybody around, but it's it just I don't know, man. Plus he had to buy some that fit too. Like, he had to go. I mean, he had to try them on somewhere.
Yeah, you got to go to they have stores for that.
You know. Well, I mean, of course, yeah. It's just, you know, yeah.
You got to go. You got to go with the drag queen shop. You got to get the big sizes.
You have a pair of sprinting heels that I could buy?
I need really some heels for the on the go gal. You know, real fast.
You have Air Max fucking pumps because yeah.
No, I have seen, you know, it was a long pandemic. I've seen a lot of things, but I've seen races where people do high heel races, men and women.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's a thing, but...
You should get the video from Jamie in Ireland, actually, because, yeah, she sent me that video from Ireland when she was there. She and her sister decided to run a sprint. Her sister's actually an athlete, and I think she was training from some sort of marathon or something like that.
You know, she's used to running daily.
I mean, her sister runs some, and Jamie runs none. Okay, so it's like they're really and I mean, whoever said mark, set, go, and at go, I mean, her sister didn't take off like the Flash. This was still a race between two grown white women. All right? it wasn't impressive by any means. It was. They weren't setting any records, heels or no heels. But her sister still. I mean, she took off. She ran in a reasonable amount of time.
She had good form.
They said go, and Jamie hit the ground. So I mean, like, I don't.
3, 2, 1, go!
I don't know how she didn't manage one step before she fell,
she
but
didn't even make it three
she
steps.
fell. Now, I don't know if that's, I mean, probably at that point though, I'm sure, she wasn't even trying, because that's what she does to me when we're bowling. So I'm sure she ruined the race for her sister too, saying, "I'm not even trying. I'm just laying down." But yeah, get that video from Jamie for Blatherrhea.
If she will let us put it in, we will put it in.
She'll put it up.
If not, we will do a reenactment with puppets. If not,
show her video. Yeah. Wow. Jesus. All right.
But yeah, I mean, like, it is impressive. It is impressive. But it's once again, the recurring theme on this show seems to be
I just think the aftermath of that has got to be a downer. It's like, once you've set the record,
where do you go from here?
Then what? It's like,
I'm gonna go with a higher heel, or I'm gonna see if I can run it in those like Frankenstein shoes. Like just Herman Munster that shit in 100 meters. Like that'd be great. That'd be great. Oh, well, Cap, this next story, it's one of those stories. So a ring lost on a New Jersey beach, found 51 years later, and returned to the owner.
Was it a diamond ring, a priceless family heirloom?
No, it was a class ring.
Oh,
it was a class ring.
Wow, well, those go up and up in value, don't they? It's because everybody. Yeah, did you get a class ring?
They gave us the thing for it. It was too expensive. I said, if I went Letterman jacket, it was either or.
Yeah.
It was either or. Because
I got mine. I mean, mine was actually like it was fairly. I remember a lot of people paying attention to it in high school, because I think by the time I was in high school, most people didn't even get them.
Yeah, no, nobody, like almost nobody got ours.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even remember what the final design was. Like,
You had,
oh,
a,
this is
you
our
had a
thing.
Letterman jacket?
Yeah.
What was that Letterman? Was it football?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
I went all state football volleyball, so it's like
Right,
so
right,
it's
yeah.
like
My class ring had let's see, because you could put your activities on each side. So mine, one side had water skiing and the other side had karate. So these things are really
you look like a dangerous
represented me.
ninja.
Look, man. All right, look, if you get into a fucking James Bond situation where you need
where you gotta
somebody
fight
to
your way out,
use some kung fu
and water
or
ski
some
away,
taekwondo, and I might have to chase you on some skis,
and you happen to be lake or adjacent.
Those are things that I just happened to do that because I wasn't on any teams or anything. But yeah, I water skied because my dad made us in the summer, so there was that. And then
you got course.
I was in karate or taekwondo for a while, but yeah, that was my I had my class ring with it wasn't even my birthstone. I put the August one, which is actually Jamie's birthstone, the peridot. But yeah. Anyway, this guy, so he buried it in the sand.
He lost it in the sand, gave up for it, but it's just like I am always amazed. But I think we had like the same thing with the message in the bottle story. We had like, why do these other people have the kind of time where they're like, I gotta return this?
Because if that thing's been sitting in on the beach for 51 years, it's gotta be pretty gross.
Yeah, corroded.
By then, right?
Yeah.
Like, how could you even tell what it was? It does remind me that, like, because I probably covered this before. When I read books, I mean audiobooks. So they're read to me.
When I hear
while
books,
I suck my thumb and fall asleep. Shut up. But it's but I read the one of my favorite authors is Jeff Pearlman. He writes a lot of like sports related. He's a Sports Illustrated writer. Wrote a lot of sports related books. One of them was about Walter Payton. It's called Sweetness, and I'd never heard this story, and it's funny enough, like. His wife didn't even know about it, and it was well after his passing because he died of rare liver disease or whatever. But he was, I guess, as a part of like some sort of community service, he ended up coaching becoming an assistant coach on some sort of high school basketball team that was in Chicago or in a suburb of Chicago at the time, and. So for some reason, because Walter always went so far to like be overly nice and overly generous, even when people weren't asking him for it, he decides like on the eve of some big game or something like that for this basketball team, he brings out his Super Bowl ring. He only had one, and this was the Super Bowl that he was mad about because he didn't get to score a touchdown and everything. He brings out, shows it to the kids. And the kids go to give him back his Super Bowl ring, and he's like, "No, you know what? You guys hang on to it tonight, and then I'll, you can give it back to me later after the game." I don't know why they would need to borrow the ring
for
Walter. Like that doesn't make any sense. But he's still just being how he was, I guess. Was he gives it to the kids? They're all looking at it at whatever. I think it was whatever party. And then at the end of the night, they're like, "Where's Walter's ring?" And they can't fucking find it. And they had to go tell him, like, the next day, like, the coach had to go explain, I don't know what happened to the ring. Like, it's gone. And Walter always figured that one of the kids probably stole it and just didn't want to say or anything like that. And he was really bitter from it and everything. And it was, I guess, a good, like, 10 years or so that, like, whatever couch they were on, it got lost in the cushion of the couch, and just so happens like that couch had moved around like a few different like apartments and shit like that. Somebody took with them, and the dog found it. Like the dog was like trying to pull something out from under and found fucking Walter Payton's Super Bowl ring, and and the guy who found it took it to Connie, Walter's widow, and she's like, "Huh. I didn't even know he lost it." I mean, you gotta at that point, I mean, I don't know. It's not like you could pawn that thing either.
No.
Like because it's like it's gonna be noticeable. Like you're not. We know you're not Walter Payton. All right, Scott. So it's like, I mean, but it's still, that reminded me of that with the, I mean, losing it for that long.
But here
and
in
then-
Vegas, man, we got a lot of Super Bowl rings in the pawn shops here.
It is amazing
They
how,
are
like,
here.
like Super Bowl rings and
championship rings,
NBA
MLB.
championship rings. Like a lot of those, like the last guy on the bench ends up, they end up hawking that shit later
Dude,
on.
I think that like the Pawn Stars place, I think they have a couple of Heisman trophies down there, for Christ's sake.
I know they had at
know,
least
like-
one from one of the Patriots. I forget whose it was, which player. But I mean, it wasn't like Tom Brady or
No, but still, his point is like, you know, these
there
are
was somebody like that.
one of a kind pieces of memorabilia that, you know, are just
Yeah.
sitting here in buildings in Vegas.
Which, I mean, for a Super Bowl, I mean, because like I ended up at one point because, like I have that. I have a Patriot Super Bowl ring around here somewhere. I wasn't on the team,
But it's a real one.
It was like a
real?
replica one that I think I found on Amazon for like it must have been like $12.
I have owned more than one replica Super Bowl ring.
Yeah,
I got them,
it
you get them
was
at the auction.
One of those things that was like it was a low enough price that I was like, that I might as well get that because it just seemed cool, and I was just one of those things that I was like, I gotta have that, and I bought it, and it's I mean, if it's something like that, I can see like buying, but I'm like, okay, if it's a real guy Super Bowl ring, like even if it's a player like. There have been a few players that I can remember, like it's like some guys who were like, just fell on hard times, who were pretty good players, who ended up hawking their championship ring or Super Bowl ring, and like who would buy that? I mean, for the amount that you would have to pay for it, like let's say, I'm trying to think like as somebody that like okay. You found like Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen was going through a lot of financial problems a few years ago. Like he's, I think he's worked his way out of it, which is great. But I mean, when he was like, let's say somebody like him ended up having a hawk as one of his championship rings. Like, would you really want to own that? Like, would you? Because it just like, what would you want that for? Like, because it's not like you're gonna have people over. So
this was me.
So because Scottie Pippen made bad financial decisions, I
got his ring.
I now won. I was on the 1993 Bulls. Like it works. Like so, what exactly? Who would buy that? Like I just don't understand. Like where, I mean, I understand a bit. Lawrence Taylor, somebody like I don't know, like guys like that who would just like, I mean, just Dexter Manley. He was a guy who just like things went downhill. He ended up in prison and shit like that. He's a guy that probably at some point hawked his fucking Super Bowl ring. Like, and it's like, okay, you're a big Washington Commanders fan. And it's like, I don't understand other than I've heard of people buying them and giving them back to the sports hero. Like, some rich guy will go in and, just let me go give that back to him. I can see that. But it's like, if you bought it, to have like I don't understand how you would,
Dude, it's a whole auction section. It's a whole thing. I mean, there's so many like as you think about all the people too. The linemen, most of those guys are not wealthy.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
no,
they end up
no,
hawking
well,
their
yeah,
rings,
no,
all
a
that
lot of
stuff. The staff gets them too.
Kickers, shit like that. Yeah, they're not.
So it's and then there's the generic ones. I bought a replica ring once at the auction that I thought was a normal ring, and I got it. It was this fucking big.
Jesus.
It was like I was like, what the fuck am I gonna? It had a stand and everything.
It goes on my arm.
I'm like, this is not a replica ring. This is like it's like a statue. It was like I was like, I took that shit back like 2 weeks later
That's
and
the crazy
resold
thing
it.
too. Is that, well, like with Super Bowl rings, like because I don't know if you ever watched that like the 30 for 30 about the Washington Redskins, the 87 Redskins that won the year where they had replacement players and. The replacement players from that season, Washington went 3-0 in that replacement season, and still they never got. I think they only recently they might have had a ceremony with after that, right around the time of that 30 for 30, because I think it's at the end of that where they did present them with Super Bowl rings, but. For the longest time, they didn't give them Super Bowl rings. They went 3-0 in that strike, the replacement games. They didn't give them Super Bowl rings. Yet, like the people on staff. Like the people in the office, cheerleaders, they get Super Bowl rings. Like everybody
the whole front
who's
office.
on the team, who's part of the team, it gets a Super Bowl ring. Somehow they convince themselves that no, the guys who played for us and won 3 games for us. Who, if they had lost those 3 games, they wouldn't even made the fucking playoffs and didn't get the Super. Now, does this have anything to do with this man's class ring? No, but it's still
we're talking ring-based stuff.
It's still
But
it's still it's crazy to me though that yeah.
Well, like my dad, like he wore his class ring till he couldn't fit his finger anymore.
Yeah.
Like they almost had to cut that damn thing off him. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just always his class ring, and I don't know. I just never understood. High school sucked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't know why
It's
I
like,
would want to. I would want to commemorate
why-
that with
yeah.
a piece of jewelry that I'm like, oh yeah, remember that time in my life that really sucked before I went to college and realized there was more stuff to do. You know,
It's like if you're still wearing your class ring or Letterman jacket, if there was that good of a time in your life that you really want to keep reliving it, because I can't imagine that whole glory days thing of like.
But then there's that people that was the head cheerleader and is now a waitress at Denny's and stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's those people they're holding on to that past because that was their good time.
That was it was. I mean, for me, like when I got out of high school, same thing really with college for me. It was like I always got to the end of them and thought, man, I wish I would have enjoyed that time more, but I didn't. But kind of like now. I'm always like, I never really seize the day type of guy, and I've never been that with school or anything like where I've never been I've never looked back and go, oh, I wish I was that age again. I wish I was a kid again. Like I always see the sucky side of it. Like really, yeah, I want to go back and live with my dad. That sounds like fun. No, it doesn't. It's fucking terrible. But and it's, I can't imagine. I mean, when this guy got his ring back, I mean, was he really? Because it said he was missing it. Was he really pining over it for that long?
That's the thing. They returned the
give a
ring,
shit?
and he was like, "Oh, I thought I lost that." And blah blah blah. I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Did it have his fucking address on it?
Because it had the class of that thing. So they went to the class. They had the school. So they went to the school, found the class. Only so many people in the class, and then yeah. I mean, these days, a little Facebook, forensics, and you can pretty much find anybody.
I mean,
but it's just weird.
So here's your rusty ring.
Yeah. And you're like, oh,
thank you.
Thanks.
I will add this to the recycle can.
I will put this in the junk drawer next to the paper clips and pens with no caps.
Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Fuck. Get back in the mystery machine. Find something else to do, man.
I mean, but like I said, it's like with the message in the bottle. It's just like people are on Facebook all day solving mysteries, like goddamn Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Well, I hope one day I have a mystery that they need to be solved.
Hey, we all have puzzles we need to solve.
Yes.
So back to this. You line up, so it's the order, right? It's got to be you remember the Rubik's links? Mm-hmm. The Rubik's link is
where it was like the flat and you had to fold them.
It was like it was a link, like it was like it looked like a stoplight almost, like we.
Yeah.
The chain would slide down because it was like chain links. So you had to get it all, the colors matched up the same.
Yep.
That thing, I had like a keychain version of that because when everything Rubik's from like 1982 to 83.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, but it was. I don't think anybody can.
Have you ever attempted the Mega Rubik's, the one where it's like
the bigger one? Yeah. I've seen them. I've never tried it. No.
I think I played with it.
I assume it's probably just as bad.
I think I played with it at Sharper Image once. Did you? I'm like, oh, let me play with it. No, I'm not buying it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when I was even doing this, whenever I got my red side yesterday or the day before, I'm like. It took me a bit to, okay, I got my, you turn this, get this over here, and then, I got my red side, and then I'm like, I could be doing something else online right now, so I'm bored, yeah. This is pointless, but I do want to, it is one of those, I don't know if it's a bucket list thing or something, just to figure out, like, how exactly.
Just how to do the damn thing.
What is the best way to go about this? I still think it has something to do with the middle. The middle, and then, like you said, the cross. Mm-hmm. So it's like the two middles, basically, if you're whatever, wherever Rubik Get back to us. Thank you.
People are just gonna start sending us unsolved Rubik's cubes. Like here, just keep stacking them on us.
It'd be like the Simpsons fucking trying to coach you through it. Okay, take your main finger and push it. My main finger.
Your main finger.
My main finger.
Turn it crosswise. Crosswise.
Topwise. Topwise. Take the middle side and go topwise. Topwise.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, Kat, that brings us to another end of a insightful episode.
All right, yeah. Well, we've managed to waste more of your time. I'm
yes.
glad
Thank you for coming with us every week.
Yeah, same announcement as last week, isn't it? It's same
thing.
Anywhere,
Kimmel's,
Rosemont. Going to Kimmel's every Tuesday. We're at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club every Tuesday. We also Killing Crickets is going to be dropping soon, right?
It's out. It's out. It's out. Yeah, by the time it's out, it's out. Yeah.
Yes, Killing Crickets, our stand-up comedy showcase podcast. That's finally launched, and you'll be getting new episodes of that because we have a lot of them stockpiled. Right?
Yeah, first three are out now, and a new one every Monday.
Yep.
Hopefully every Monday.
I finished Cap versus Jaws, but the new version, the 2023 version.
The one we can put online.
Finished it. I just have to do a couple edits, and then we're just put that out, and then I'm hopefully people will watch it this time, and I hopefully don't get copyright flagged or whatever, so that it keeps taken down and I get discouraged like I did 3 years ago. So hopefully I'll be churning out more of those.
So we get more movies, more stuff,
more caplets, more.
And oh my God, as a side note, you need to watch Weird Science, Cap. It is a travesty to me.
Would it really
you have
now?
Not watched
but
Weird
today,
Science.
would it really affect me now?
Yeah, dude, Robert Downey Jr.'s in that. Bill Paxton, like in his first role. So many quotable lines.
But I
mild
know
racism
he plays
at best.
Shit or something like that. Yeah, I know the basic story.
It's in the Shermerverse. You know, it's in all those Sherman, Illinois movies.
I just don't know that it would really hit me as well as it would have it. I seen it when it was supposed to be seen. I mean,
it does not hold up as well. It is still an entertaining flick. It still has a lot of stars in it. I own that movie on VHS. Like I remember that on VHS. That was a classic. No,
yes, I didn't buy VHS. I copied.
I just copied everything to beta.
Yeah, I copied. Yeah, there's a little bit. We had beta for a while, but no, I always had my two VCRs plugged in together, and a lot of them had the copy guard problem where I got to watch it in various colors. But so what?
So what? We still watched
the movie.
We still watched it.
Whatever.
Yeah. Still quoted the lines, baby. But I think Weird Science is definitely a good one for Cat Versus too, because that's one where you're just like, really? You get a lot of like, they really did this. It's good. But so stay tuned. We got Killing Crickets. We got Cat Versus. We're at Kimmel's. We got Caps.
I'm trying to decide the next
everywhere.
Cat Versus. I don't know if I want to. I think I want to do Castaway. But if Madden wants to do it with me again, like where it's a movie that she's seen. Then I might have to change my direction and go with something like, I don't know, like Dark Crystal or something like that. So we'll see.
That'd be a good Cat Versus.
Yeah,
too.
but that's a movie that she and I have watched a bunch of times together.
Skeksis and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Then I'd almost have to redo Howard the Duck then too, because when I did Cat versus Howard the Duck, I did that on my own, and that's one that she and I watched together a bunch of times.
Yeah, religiously.
We did a lot.
You can just leave the other one, do a revisit. Because I'm sure you can find other stuff.
I would really like to do a different movie. Redoing something is kind of a drag.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I did a better version of Cat versus Jaws this time, but it's not like anybody's gonna know that though, because like 4 people saw it. So we'll see. Hopefully the new one.
I've seen it. It's good. It is good, Cap. Like I saw the old one and the new one is approved. Like you guys will enjoy it. It's gonna be good, and you will see that on this channel where you're watching this podcast. So just, I believe, go one down or one up, and you will find Cat Versus on this playlist. Play it.
Yeah.
Play it. So like, subscribe. You know how the internet works.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's 2023. You've seen it. Anyway, we'll see you next
Internet's like
time.
computers now. Yeah. So. All right, and we're out. Peace.
We're gone.